If you're in a season of wanting to prepare for a reset of some kind, because you know that it's time to take care of yourself, and you want to do that in a way that's simple, sustainable, and life-giving, or maybe you're entering the summer because the summer is coming up, this is the perfect episode and the perfect reset for you. So in this episode, I lead you through 5 different steps that you can really reset your food palette and your body in a way that supports you and your health goals this summer. And in this episode, I share with you the food and body reset that I'm doing with you live in June to really help you implement these 5 steps using my habits tracker and food journal. All right. So you're going to want to make sure you listen in. You're also just going to want to make sure you grab that food and habits tracker while it's $20 off now until June 10th. So if you go to madewell345.com/habits tracker, you'll get access to that. You'll get access to the challenge, and you're going to be really supported in a massive way to really reset well this summer, but enjoy your summer and enjoy this new season, taking care of yourself in the way that you most need. All right, enjoy the episode. You're listening to the More Than Your Weight podcast, and I'm your host, Brianna Wilkerson. You know, for over half my life, I had to really pay attention to my relationship with food, my body, and myself. As a young girl, I started to find my worth in my weight and my work, and started to define my beauty and my body and my value through how I looked and how other people saw me. That led to disordered ways of eating, of exercising, and really just a poor relationship with my body and myself. And then when I started to finally see that my worth was not in my weight, it was not in how I looked, and it was not in what people thought of me, that's when I found breakthrough and freedom. And ever since, it's been my mission to help other women do the same. I am on a mission to see other women find peace with food, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop a healthy lifestyle that's more than about what they weigh. Now, weight loss is not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think when we are approaching it from a place of value or a place of trying to find our worth in it, that's when it can really trip us up. So I want you to find peace with food, to find your version of food freedom, your version of body confidence and love, and a healthy lifestyle that is about so much more than what the scale says. So this podcast is going to help you do that. You're going to find solo episodes, guest interviews, all designed to really speak from the heart, give you some new ways of thinking and acting so that you can start to also believe and walk in the truth that you are more than your weight. And from time to time, I'll throw in an essential oils episode because I'm also a lover of essential oils. So I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so honored to be a part of this journey with you. So please, before you get into the interview or the podcast or leave, I want to make sure you do a couple things. Make sure you join my free Facebook group, the More Than Your Weight Facebook community. This is a women's community designed to support you in really unpacking these episodes. I also host free trainings, free challenges to really kind of support you more in this journey. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, rate and review, but also subscribe to my weekly newsletter so you'll never miss a podcast episode. You can find all the links for that in the show notes. So make sure after you listen that you go do those things. Okay? So excited for this episode and so excited to journey with you. All right, enjoy. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the More Than Your Weight podcast. I am so excited to share with you 5 different steps to kind of reset your food palette, your body, and your overall health at any time in the year, but particularly since summer is coming up, to do this in the summer. And so I'm going to lead you through actually the 5 steps that I'm going to lead, hopefully you and everyone else, through in this food and body reset that I'm having coming up in 2 weeks. And so this food and body reset is going to be utilizing this tracker, habits tracker and food journal that I put together at the beginning of the year to really support women in doing a couple of different things to track their food, both emotionally, physically, and how they respond to food emotionally, mentally, and physically, before, during, and after they eat, how to plan balanced meals using the macronutrient food chart I provide, and how to track simple, sustainable steps towards healthy habits such as in water, balanced meal, exercise, stress management, mindset work, and so much more. And so this tracker is one of my favorite resources that I use with my clients. I use it on a much larger scale with them to go through kind of a 6-week foundation course with my 6-month clients. But This is a mini version that I'm making available to the public, to you guys. And I just thought, let me lead you through how to best utilize this tracker as you prepare for the summer. All right. And so the 5 steps is basically what we're going to go through in this 3-day challenge from June 7th to 9th. And really all you need to do to enter the challenge is buy the tracker. The tracker is $20 off until the end of the challenge, until June 10th. And so you can get it for $27 plus literally 5 different trainings. So why not jump on in? The trainings will be held in my Facebook group, and then the replays will be uploaded to MemberVault where I keep my tracker. Okay. And so what are these 5 steps, and how is this tracker and my different resources going to support you? So the first step to really any reset or any plan that you're going to go after in regards to food, healthy habits, your body, mindset, is to take stock where you're at and then create meaningful and intentional goals. And we're going to do this through a goal worksheet that I will provide just for the reset, as well as using my inventories. You guys know I love taking stock through my inventory. So my food freedom inventory, my healthy habits inventory, and the flourishing life inventory. And these 3 inventories are basically highlighting 3 different areas that I support clients in: mind, body, soul. So looking at the mindset around food, your body, your weight, your exercise, yourself, looking at habits around taking care of your body, and then looking at other areas of your life that nourish you. And that this is important to enter in going and using the particular tracker, because we all have different goals and we all have different areas we need to work on. So the idea is you're going to pick one area you're doing really well in all 3 of those, mind, body, soul, and you're going to keep doing that. You're going to improve, and then you're going to pick one area that you're maybe not doing as nourished in or getting, doing as well in, and then you're going to work on that. And then you're going to set up your tracker to support you in that. All right. So say, for example, I identified that my mindset towards my body is not good. Well, I'm going to create an affirmation that I'm going to try to say every day, and I'm going to track that in the tracker, that I am going to say, I'm loving my body no matter what size, shape, or scale number it's at. Right? And so that's how I'm going to choose to love my body. But say if I'm doing really well in my relationship with food, I'm going to track my mindset and emotions towards food in the food journal part of the tracker, and just see if there's still areas that I can improve. Okay. And then now say if I realize I'm doing really well in sleep, I'm going to still track that and see if there's ways that I can improve my quality of sleep, my sleep routine, but also maybe I'm not doing so well in stress management. So I'm going to insert something into my tracker that says, every time you're stressed, did you take 5 minutes this week, to just practice some breathing. Okay. Now say that I'm wow, I really want to, be on track of my finances just as much as I'm on track of my health. Well, I'm going to put that in my tracker, and I'm going to say, hey, did you look at your finances and face them this week? But maybe I'm doing really well in my relationship, so I add in a section, and there's a section for you to add this stuff in there. Okay. And so that's the point of, in the beginning of starting any sort of reset or plan, is to really look at where you are and then create goals on where you want to be. And I'll guide you through that in a live session to help you prepare for the challenge as well. Okay. And we've heard of SMART goals. We've heard of all kinds of goals, but I think the best way to create goals is definitely in line with where you want to be, and creating goals that at the end of the day, when you accomplish it, you want to feel something, right? So if you want to lose 30 pounds, what you really want to do is feel good in your body. So that's actually what you want to make sure you include in the goal. Don't want to give away too much. So you're going to want to make sure you join the reset to really help you guide through this and prepare for the summer. The second step is to really, again, look at your mindset around food, your body, weight, yourself. And that's really going to show up. We're going to really use the tab of the food journal aspect in the tracker to do that. And because I think when we eat food or we don't eat food, there's certain things that go on around our beliefs and our minds and our thoughts. And I want you to track that through the food journal part in particular. But you can track that in the habits tracker part, but you're really going to start to see how every time maybe you ate sugar, you felt bad because you consider that a bad food. We want to remove that sort of barrier. Or maybe you ate all salads this week because you felt your clothes were tight. You see what I mean? So we really want to move past that. But we can't really see where you're at until we identify what you're thinking and feeling, and also physically how you're physically responding to food. Because a lot of women, we have a lot of headaches, we have skin issues, we have energy issues, but you don't necessarily know that until you really track and see how you respond to certain foods, okay? So that's step 2, is really looking at our mindset, or even how our body responds to food in those areas, okay? Then step 3 is looking at how can we nourish our body with real food. So we looked at how we respond, right? We're looking at overall the data, mentally, emotionally, physically, how we respond using the food journal. But then we're going to use the food chart part of the tracker to create kind of meal plans for ourselves, and how to mix and match to create yummy meals that we can eat on the go, and that we can eat, whenever we're needing it most. And in the summer, how we can include more of those macronutrients to really nourish our body with good carbohydrates, good fats, and proteins in the way that we need. And so I'm going to basically teach you on that day how to kind of mix and match using the food chart to create delicious meals. And so you're going to definitely want to attend live if you can, so that way we can work on it together. And then day 4, or step 4, we're going to really look at, I think the next step is, how do you create healthy lifestyle changes that's more than about your weight, right? And so that's really looking at the 7 different areas of healthy habits: your nutrition, your exercise, your stress, your sleep, your digestion, your toxic load, and then of course mindset comes in there, and even maybe your hormones comes in there as well. And you're going to really think about, what is the smallest but yet most profound step I can take in those areas to move me forward. And you're going to use the habits tracker, where you're going to tally up each day which ones you did, and there's even a point system, which I'll talk about later, so you can reward yourself. So step 1 is really taking stock where you're at in the mind, body, soul area, and creating goals from that place and how you want to feel when you accomplish those goals in those areas. Step 2, which is really looking at your mindset around food, your body, and yourself, and using a food journal to kind of help you with that. Step 3 is looking at nourishing your body with real whole nutrients and macronutrients and foods, and mixing and matching them to create meals that work for you and your family, using the food chart in the tracker. And then creating healthy lifestyle changes that are simple, sustainable, and it's not just about your weight, but really taking care of yourself and using a tracker to help you do that. And then the 5th step is learning what it means to review and celebrate and adjust. And I think we talked about this a little bit in last week's podcast, and how I do that with cravings, but I do this with every area of my health and even my life. What went well, what didn't go so well, and why, and what can I change going forward, but how can I celebrate also what went well? And that's even using the points tracker, which is part of the in this resource that you'll be getting, is you create reward systems for yourself. Basically, so if you reach 100 points for the week, then you're going to go buy your Starbucks latte, or you're going to go get yourself a blouse you've been wanting, or a pair of shoes, right? So doing all of that, it's really about setting yourself up for success, really thinking through, okay, I need to create goals that are really about where I'm at, versus where I think I should be. I need to look at my mindset around food and see if that's moving me forward or holding me back. I need to create meals that are really nourishing, but also enjoying the things that I really want. And then I need to create habits that are really about nourishing my body and my life. And then how do I celebrate that? How do I reflect? And so it's a system. This is a system I lead all my clients through in a given session, but also in our work. And so you're going to get a taste of that through this reset, but also taste of that through this tracker. And then, of course, if at any point throughout the challenge, or even after, you're like, I really need to get further support, then I have spaces open, one-on-one coaching spots open and available for you to get that support. So you can definitely book a clarity call with me to find out how I can support you this summer and also into the fall, which tend to be very, I think the spring is a time where a lot of people are making tons of goals, but the summer and the fall tend to be really hard points, because you have summer traveling, vacations, you have fall and holidays, and how can you get the support you need to actually make that time frame the best and your healthiest yet? And I would love to support you through that in my one-on-one work. Okay, so let's review the 5 steps. And remember, these 5 steps I'm going to lead you through in the food and body reset. And all you need to do to join this food body reset is to purchase my tracker and food journal, which is now $20 off until the end of the challenge. So you're going to want to grab that. You'll get daily emails once you buy the tracker, and you'll get access to the live videos as well as the replays. Okay, so the 5 steps to really reset your food and your body and have your healthiest summer yet is to 1, take stock and create meaningful goals of where you are and where you want to be, and how you want to feel. Is 2, to look at your mindset around food, your body, yourself, and your weight. And then look at ways you can nourish your body with nutritious and amazing nourishing foods, how you can create healthy lifestyle changes and healthy habits around your body, but also your life to support you to see that you're worth more than your weight. And then 5, how do you reflect and review and celebrate yourself in such a way where you acknowledge the things you did each week, but also adjust so you can further go forward in your goals the next week. Okay, so we're going to go through all 5 of those steps in this challenge. There'll be a day of preparation, then there'll be 3 days of the quote challenge, and then also a bonus video to help you reflect and celebrate. And so go to madewell345.com/habits tracker, madewell345.com/habits tracker, or the show notes. Grab your tracker while it's still $20 off, and then from June 7th to 9th, we will jump in, we will prepare you well for the summer, and you can really have a tool that's not just like, okay, I'm hearing her talk about all this, but a tool to actually help you use it, okay? So dive on in, purchase that tracker, share it with a friend. If you're like, you and your friend have been talking about really supporting one another through this summer or even the fall, then you're going to want to invite her to this food and body reset and get this tracker while it's $20 off, okay? And this basically 5-day masterclass training, which is way more value than $27, but I am really doing it to set you up well, but also give you a taste of what it's like to really work with me if you've been titter-tottering saying, I don't know if I'm worth the investment. One, you are, but I really want to set you up for success. All right, that's it. I will see you hopefully in this 3-day reset. Grab the tracker and reach out if you have any questions. And of course, join the group too. Okay, bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode, friends. And I hope that your action step that you're hopefully going to take is to buy the food journal and habits tracker and join us for this 3-day reset. Even if you can't attend live, you'll have access to all of the replays as well as the tracker and the food journal. And you're going to get it $20 off when you purchase by June 10th. Okay, so go to madewell345.com/habits tracker. Grab the tracker, join me in the Facebook group, and let's together make this our healthiest summer yet, because we're going to do it in a way that's simple, sustainable, and it's going to nourish our mind, body, and soul. All right, bye. That's it. That's another episode of the More Than Your Weight podcast. I hope that you're leaving encouraged and inspired to continue to walk in your more than your weight journey. But before you leave, I want you to know you're not alone. And I want you to really walk in that by joining my free group, the More Than Your Weight Women's Community. This is a space where you can unpack the podcast episodes, get support throughout your week. And also make sure you subscribe to my newsletter by signing up for weekly updates when podcasts come out, as well as all the other things that I'm offering in my business. And if you're not about Facebook, or even maybe you're not about email, make sure you follow me on Instagram at madewell345 to show you the behind the scenes of my life, my business, and also to support you there. Okay, I just had a blast in this episode, and I hope that these episodes have really been just encouraging you and inspiring you to know that you are more than your weight. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you on the next one.